Guys, welcome back. Welcome to April's live stream. I know it's a little bit early in the morning for most of you because I know most of my subscribers live in the States, but again, I wanted to give our friends in Europe a chance to check in and say hi if they want to. So I'm going to start this off by saying, first of all, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm only going to stay on for an hour because of our limited bandwidth. So yeah, and plus the house needs to be vacuumed and I can't tie up the internet forever. So yeah, this is going to have to be fairly short. First of all, I do have some news for you. I just, first of all, one of my subscribers was generous enough to give me a Walmart gift card. And I just finished using it to order some supplies. I'm going to need to finish at least the cosmetics of R2-D2 and make the Darth Vader costume for the May 4th, or in this case, May 5th, recreation of that scene from The Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to be Darth Vader. My nephew's going to be Luke Skywalker. I've already got the materials to make his shirt. I'm hoping I can find a khaki shirt that I can modify so it'll look a little bit better. But he's already got the cargo pants, and I'm figuring he can borrow my snow boots, and I've already got stuff to make the belt and all that good stuff. So yeah, that'll be, of course, it's going to be cutting it a little bit close with the Darth Vader costume because the materials I'm going to need for that, namely the fabric for the cape and the sunglasses I ordered to be the lenses, they're not going to get to Walmart until May 1st. So I'm only going to have a few days to actually finish making that costume. Thankfully, a cape doesn't take much. I'm just going to have to cut out a neck hole, get a fake chain, hem the edges with something, I don't know, maybe duct tape, and cut it on a nice little curve, and then just wear the stupid thing. So there we go. Okay, first person checking in, Gannon 136. Hey there. My finger, well, it feels okay right now. When I woke up, it felt like someone had stepped on it. But I took some Tylenol, so I'm all drugged up, and it doesn't hurt that bad right now. But thank you for your concern. Thank you for showing up. I hope more people show up because I hate dead space. It makes me nervous. Yeah, Tylenol, that's what I took. I didn't want to take aspirin because it's, I didn't want to take aspirin with something I'm trying to clot it and hold the clot in place. So that's probably kind of gross, so I won't talk about that anymore. So, how you doing? Hope everyone's doing good. All four of you. My fingers are cold. Oh my goodness, that might be the farthest away. Antonio Reyes is checking in from Honduras. Well, hello, Antonio. Good to have you. Oh, that's okay, Gannon 136. Go ahead, take your time. I know it's early on a Saturday, especially for people in the United States, but sure, take your time. I'm going to be on until 10 a.m. local time. So, yeah. Okay, first question. That was quick. That's a new record in under 4 minutes from Ollie Harry. I can't pronounce that. Haeri. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Says, hi there. What's your favorite lightsaber model? My favorite lightsaber model. Oh my goodness. Do you mean favorite lightsaber hilt from the movie or favorite custom lightsaber hilt from a company? Can you expand on that? Favorite one from the movie has got to be Luke's Episode 6 lightsaber. It looks awesome. It looks really comfortable to hold. So yeah, that one's my favorite. Oh, hello, Oscar Hernandez. Oh my goodness, big fan since the reaction to the first trailer for Episode 7. Wow, that was a while ago. That was almost 4 years ago. So that's Impressive. Most impressive. Okay, next question from Gannon136. What is the best opening night experience you have had for a Star Wars film? That has to be for episode 3, because that was back when we did not have we did not live in a place that had a theater with assigned seating. So that was the old time when we had to wait in line. I got 2 tickets ahead of time. Nobody wanted to go with me, and I couldn't go there alone because it got out. It was like the midnight premiere, and it got out at like 2:30 in the morning or something like that. So finally recruited someone to go with me. Someone who shall not be named ended up being unsavory and was actually not hanging out with me most of the night, which was fine because I ended up making a whole bunch of friends. We sat in line together. One of them was dressed up as Princess Leia, and we ended up just talking the whole time. We got to the theater. There was already a little bit of a line at about 5 o'clock in the evening. And what happened was we got into this conversation, and we ended up playing several games, including Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. And they even brought like prizes for the games, which was cool. And that is actually how I wound up. I pretty much trounced everybody at the Star Wars trivia. So one of the prizes was a teddy bear dressed up like a Jedi. And while the robe has long since fallen apart, I still have that teddy bear. And yeah, it's a little bit torn up. My dog got to it. I'm going to have to fix the nose. But yeah, I still have that teddy bear, and I regularly dress him up in Star Wars stuff. And at that point, we thought episode 3 was going to be the end of Star Wars. So it was emotional, and it was amazing. And it was actually the very first opening night I actually went. I mean, my dad took me to opening weekend of episodes 1 and 2, but not actually opening night because it was at midnight and he was working then. And so so that was my favorite experience. I know it's kind of a long answer, but there you go. I hope that answers your question, Gannon136. Wow, a whole bunch more checking in. Hello to Jesse Padilla, Beto Valadez, Darth Crosus, John Cordisco, and Chelsall. Hey guys, welcome. I'm glad to see some people from Europe checking in. That's the whole idea of having this so early in the morning. That made me really happy. Chelsall says, afternoon, CJ. Hope your finger is better. At the moment, yeah. It's a good color, and I'm not losing feeling in it, but it's a little bit swollen. So when I woke up this morning, it did not feel good. So I know there's one person who checked in from Honduras, and there's someone else, Beto Valadez from Chihuahua, Mexico. How about everyone else? Where is everybody else from? Go ahead and check it. Oh, 2 more questions. Gannon one, whoa, hello. Yikes. Gannon 136. Whoa. Since I know you've been a longtime Star Wars fan, have you ever been a collector of the toys like the old Power of the Force stuff from the 90s? No, I was a kid in the 90s, and we hardly had enough money to even watch the movies, renting them for like $1 from the movie store. So no, I did not have any Star Wars toys until I bought a few. And they were a stormtrooper and a little miniature speeder bike set of Luke and Leia. And I ended up giving them to my crush at the time, which I totally regret now because I was 11 years old and foolish. Jesse Padilla asks, would you approve of Leia being recast? That's a hard question. I don't know how they're going to deal with it, and I'm just going to take a wait and see approach. I'm not going to say I'm completely against her being recast if they like CG the face, kind of like they did for the Leia in the New Hope. New Hope? No. Like they did for Leia in Rogue One. If they did something like that, if it's well pulled off, and it's not like a close-up, I don't know. It's kind of... Andre's here, Bill. Yeah, you're a friendly time. That's the whole idea, buddy. John Hine checking in from New Haven, Connecticut. Gannon 136 watching from North Carolina. Cool. Chelsea, UK. Andres here, Bilov. RU. Okay. What does RU stand for? I'm kind of a blur right now. Jesse Padilla, Chicago, Illinois. Awesome. Red Leader 1 here from Australia. Wow. This may be the most varied audience I've ever had for a live stream. And that makes me excited. Okay. Chelsea asks, are you any more excited about Solo? I'm excited about going there opening night and trooping with my buddies. That's what I'm excited about. The movie itself, and a similar story from Gannon 136. How are you feeling about Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo after seeing all those TV spots and trailers? Are you optimistic or still kind of cautious going into Solo, a Star Wars story? Honestly, I have no expectations at all. I'm just expecting a fun movie, and mostly I'm going for Chewbacca. So I figure I can't lose if I have zero expectations. Then I'll probably be pleasantly surprised. I'm hoping. Okay, John Cordisco checking in from upstate New York. Cool. Oscar Hernandez from Tampico, Mexico. That's cool. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I've got an international audience. And whoa. I never in my life expected that. So, oh, darn. I forgot my glass of water. I hope I don't lose my voice. Okay, so hopefully the lighting is a little bit better at this time in the morning. The sun is shining right in through the window on my right. John Hines says, watching from Jakku. No, wait, I used to live on Jakku, a desert junkyard. No, seriously. You look around, there was trash everywhere. People used the desert as dumping ground. It was pretty much Jakku, worse than Mos Eisley. It made Mos Eisley look like a vacation spot. So, yeah, we're not going to dwell on that. Well, maybe. You know, Gannon 136, if it was mostly about Lando, I probably wouldn't watch it. Maybe that sounds bad. John Cordisco, Europa. Is that like a town in New York? I am terrible with geography, so I apologize, guys. I'm not good at like town names or locations. I know vaguely where countries are, vaguely, but kind of in the middle there. So I hope it's a moon. Well, you know, John Cordisco, when someone says it's a moon, you always have to say, that's no moon. It's a space station. Bad joke. Bad joke. I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly, John. That's... yeah, you know you're a Star Wars fan when you drop quotes in every single situation. Okay, next question from Jesse Padilla. For the next Star Wars franchise, do you think they should go back and tell the story of the Old Republic? Honestly, I have no interest in that. 90% of my interest in Star Wars is the Skywalker family, and without them, my interest is minimal. That's why I thought I didn't care about Rebels until I started watching it. Because the characters are so compelling, mostly because I loved the story of Kanan Jarrus. I ended up loving that character so much. That's why I was so devastated when at the last season of Rebels, one of my favorite characters went. Again, oh well. It's in the past now. Nothing to worry about. I know a lot of people with the Old Republic storyline. I know a lot of people played the Knights of the Old Republic video game. I was never interested in that, but I do have the soundtrack. I like the music from that. That's cool. John Hine, let the past die. Well, no, you cannot ever completely let the past die. If you let the past die, you'll never learn from it. You know that old saying, those who don't learn their history are doomed to repeat it? That's why even though the past can hurt or it can be unpleasant, you can't forget about it because then you won't learn from it. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too philosophical here, or maybe you're just dropping a movie line. But the philosophy of letting the past die, nope, don't agree with it. Okay, another question from Ganon136. What book would you like to come out that hasn't been out yet? I've always been game for a young Padme or Mon Mothma novel. Young Padme might be interesting. It'd kind of be interesting to see her childhood, how she was raised with her sister, and then how she felt about becoming an aunt. That would be really interesting. Personally, though, the book I want to see, not Legends, not the Legends of Luke Skywalker, not like him popping in. I want to have a full, detailed series, whether it's an animated series or a book or whatever, on what Luke was up to between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. I want to see like all of it up until the point where he went to the island. That's what I want more than anything, because, okay, I'm a Skywalker addict. I admit it. So yeah, that's my addiction, is the Skywalkers. I mean, even if it's anything with Anakin, I'll watch it. Exactly, Ganon136. Like, kind of like the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. If they could call it the Adventures of Luke Skywalker, that would be really, really cool. Or for oh nuts. Why can't I think of the phrase? Someone took a squeegee to my brain. Darn it. I forgot what I was going to say. That's okay. Probably wasn't important. 13 of you. Awesome. Good thing I'm not superstitious. Ah. Darth Crow says, apart from rescuing Del Meeko on Pelio, you mean? Yeah. That, yes, I want to see what else he was up to. I want to see everything that Luke was up to. I can never get enough Luke. I mean, seriously. People are writing pieces of fan fiction that has nothing to do with the movies or the Legends books, and I'm eating it up like chocolate. It's, ugh. Okay, another one. Prakash William, hello there. Nice to see you. Okay, Ganon136 asks, oh, you've got a lot of questions today. Is there a comic you want to see that hasn't been touched on? Apart from what I just mentioned about what Luke's been up to, not really. I'm not a big comic book reader, although I have not been able to find any of Poe Dameron's comics anywhere I've gone. I don't think there's a comic store within 100 miles of this place, which makes you kind of go, But no, I'm not a big comic book reader, so yeah, I don't care. Maybe that sounds bad. I'm like, oh, you're a huge Star Wars fan. You don't like the comics? Well, I could take them or leave them. Okay. Darn it, I should have remembered my water. Going on. Okay. Star Wars question, buddy. John Cordisco asks, why are hot dogs in packages of 10, but the buns are in 8s? Any hot dogs we've gotten have been also in the packages of 8. So I can't answer that question. I have no idea. Maybe it's a conspiracy by the hot dog bun company, so you have to buy 2 packages of buns, even if you only have 1 package of hot dogs. I don't know. Okay, here's a question from William Moon. If you could create your own original force power, what would it be? I don't know. I think just about everything's been covered. Telekinesis, check. Healing, check. Mind tricks. Wow, I have no idea. John Hine, do you want to read the Poe series? I'll send you the first 5. Poe? Poe's my favorite character from The Force Awakens. If I could get anything of his backstory. Okay, get the tongue back in there. Not a puppy. John Cordisco, use the Force. Okay. Nothing's happening. Ganon136 asks, another one. You may break a record here. As fans of the series, are we just naturally looking for trilogies even where they don't exist? Maybe we've just been conditioned for that since the Star Wars movies came in sets of 3. I don't know. Not personally, I'm not looking for a trilogy. I mean, if something comes in the set of 4, that's fine. Or 6, or I don't know. I know most of my favorite books have come in sets of 3, so I don't know. Okay, Jordan Prince. Hello there, Jordan. Who would win in a fight, Mace Windu or Boba Fett? I think Mace Windu, because he pretty handily dispatched Boba Fett's father, Jango Fett. I don't know whether Boba Fett would have learned from that mistake, but still, it'd be a heck of a fight, but I really don't think Boba Fett would ever beat Mace Windu. Mace would definitely win. They would probably both end up beat up, but in the end, I think Mace would come out on top. Question from Jesse Padilla. Have you ever been tempted by the dark side? LOL. Well, if you're asking if I've ever gotten so angry I wish I had a lightsaber or force lightning or force choke, sometimes. Occasionally, yeah. I'm not going to go into any details, but the situation that I very briefly touched on with my sister when my nephew was put into foster care, yeah, the whole family was about ready to turn to the dark side because of what happened. So the answer to that is yes. These days, I'm trying very hard to stay away from that. Okay, Gannon 136. I hope you have a nice day at work. Bye. Lurking for the rest of the stream. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Well, it's half over, so I've got church to go to tomorrow, so I'll probably have a good weekend. You have a good weekend too. Okay, Oscar Hernandez asks, favorite scene from The Last Jedi? Oh, gee whiz, that is hard. There are quite a few scenes that I really like. I like the one with Chewie and the Porgs. That's really cute. The one where Finn wakes up is funny. I love it when Poe is trolling General Hux. That's funny. My favorite, Yoda. When Yoda shows up and knocks some sense into Luke, that is definitely my favorite scene of The Last Jedi. Oh, Jesse Padilla says waiting to start work too. Well, you know what? I wish I had a full-time job. So be thankful you have a job to go to. This is my only job at the moment, is vlogging for you guys. Hello, Faceman Buddha. Nice to see you. Yes, Darth Crosus, I completely agree. He says, you're not normal if you don't get that angry, at least occasionally. The important part is whether or not you give into it. Exactly. That's hit the nail on the head. I mean, not to get preachy or anything, but there's even a line in the Bible that says, in your anger, do not sin. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being angry. As long as you don't act on your impulses of actually throttling somebody and you work to not be that way all the time, that's the main thing. So, yeah. Whew. I'm of the school that emotions should not be suppressed, but rather controlled. Okay, we are almost halfway through already. Whoa. This is interesting. Ooh, don't start yawning. Faceman Buddha, exactly. Faceman Buddha says, it's about what one does when one is angry and not being angry itself. Exactly. It's your actions. Float around says, marry me, please. Sorry, I'm taken. I've got a boyfriend. Darth Crosus, that's a good tip. Darth Crosus says, if you need to expend the energy, strangle a towel. My parents used to tell me, if you want to hit something, beat up your pillow, because you can't hurt your pillow. And that way you can still use that energy. Oh, thank you, Beto Valadez. It just complimented me on my pronunciation of Chihuahua, Mexico. Uh, what are your expectations of the Han Solo movie? Like I said before, I have very, very few expectations. I'm expecting a fun movie, sort of a carefree look at the hijinks of Han Solo and how he met Chewbacca. So that's all I'm expecting. Not much. I'm just going to go in there, settle in with my popcorn, and enjoy. So, yeah. And that after the last three movies, Force Awakens, especially Rogue One and The Last Jedi, I think we need something that's just flat out fun. We don't need anything dark, nothing depressing, just fun all the way through. That's all I want out of it. Okay, 25-minute mark. We're doing pretty good. 12 people signed in, 6 likes. Cool. Jesse Badilla. Oh, you punch tires at work, huh? Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? Tires bounce back and you can't hurt them. So I guess it's as good as a punching bag. It's still firm, but it's not going to. What was that? It was one of those ATVs. People around here. There's a lot of people with ATVs around here. If every other house has a dog or two, then every third or fourth house has an ATV. It's the main pastime, I guess. So if you happen to hear a buzzing in the background anytime I'm vlogging, that's what it is. It's not a nest of angry hornets chasing me. Although we do have hornets out here. I've seen more wasps and hornets than I have bees. Yikes. Thankfully, I haven't been stung. Okay, where's some wood to knock on? Kidding. Okay, let's see. Oh, ouch. Josh Crosis made a comment about learning a valuable lesson about 15 years old, 15 years ago when I almost broke a knuckle. Ow. I feel very fortunate to have never officially broken a bone, although I'm pretty sure I broke a toe once several years ago. Weird story behind that, too. Running from one room to another, slammed my foot into the door jamb, and ow, the toe turned purple. And it stayed that way for about 3 weeks. So that wasn't fun at all. But I didn't have an x-ray, so who knows? It could have been a just really bad sprain or something. Ouch. Yeah, ouch. Both. Yeah. Ah, that's a good question. Thank you, Chelsall. Chelsall asks, oh my goodness, a little horror face there. That's interesting. Okay, Chelsall asks, what do your parents think of your YouTube success? Well, they're happy about it, but they're not like, oh wow, you're famous now. That's great. They're more like, okay, that's nice. Get a real job. That's breaking down what they're saying to me. They don't have any problem with me vlogging and making a little bit of money off of it, but they are very, very anxious for me to find an actual outside job so I can move out. It's not that they're kicking me out like, hey, get out of here. You're too old to be living at home. Although, to be honest, I probably am too old to be living at home. But what's going on with that is they're both older. They were both in their mid-30s when they met and married and had children. So they're a little bit older than usual. And they keep telling me, we're not going to be around forever. We just want to make sure you're taken care of. So that's the main push in trying to shove me out the door. It's for my own good, basically. Although I'm sure they just want the house to themselves. They deserve their retirement. So that's kind of a loaded answer, but I hope that answers your question, Chelsall. Jesse Padilla asks, what kind of a job do you want to do? I would prefer working with animals because that is my strength, one of my strengths. I've been working with dogs ever since I can remember. I'm fairly good with them. Big, unruly dogs are a little hard for me to handle, but most dogs, 90% of dogs, I've been able to get under control. So if I could either get certified as an animal trainer or work in a veterinarian's office as a room tech or something, then that would be my ideal job. Second choice would be some sort of a typist, stiff finger, or stocking shelf, something where I do not have to, something I don't have to deal directly with the public, because I'm petrified, excuse me, of dealing with difficult and or impatient customers, because I am easily overwhelmed. Maybe that makes me a coward, but so be it. I just need to work for something. I need to do something where I'm mostly behind the scenes. Well, thank you, John Hine. I'm going to have to tell him that. Dad knows he's fairly popular with the viewers, so anytime he's being filmed and he's in a good mood, he's definitely a ham. He's always been a ham. He loves making people laugh, so he'll enjoy that. Okay, Darth Croesus asks, how bad did they freak out about your finger injury? Well, not too bad. My mom keeps cringing. She looks at it and goes, "Ooh." And she used to be a medical assistant, but she's helped me put the splint back on. We both think there's a possibility there may be some mild nerve damage, which is why I'm keeping it splinted. Because I was looking at a diagram of where the nerves are in this in your finger. It was right along this side, and that cut was like directly over where the nerve is supposed to be. And my finger has been alternately going cold, going numb, tingling. So I'm trying to keep it as still as I possibly can. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but I'm usually a pretty fast healer, especially when it comes to cuts and things. So yeah, it doesn't feel that bad right now. So it was mostly sympathy rather than freaking out. Thankfully. I hope that answers your question, Darth Croesus. Ow. Whoa, that's an interesting question, John Hine. Do I believe in extraterrestrials? If you mean like E.T. and Little Green Men, no. I do believe it is possible that there's life on other planets, but if there is, since this world has been around for thousands of years and we have not yet gotten a visit for them, it's one of two things. A, they are not advanced enough to visit us, or B, they have no interest in visiting us. So either one of those two possibilities, both of which I'm thankful for. Because honestly, if there were any aliens that were smart enough to see us and observe us and know what we're doing, they'd probably look at us and like going, they are such screw ups. We're not going to touch that. But all joking aside, my honest opinion is that I think it's unlikely that there are any aliens on other planets. But if there are, I would not be surprised if someone discovered something like bacteria or maybe bugs. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But intelligent life on other planets? I don't know. Intelligent life on our own planet is questionable enough. Okay, you're welcome, John Hine. Okay, one final question from Gannon136. In the event that Star Wars ever does finish someday, do you think Lucasfilm will reveal Yoda's species as a final thank you, or will they keep us in the dark? I honestly don't think we're ever going to find out what Yoda is, and I don't know that Star Wars is ever going to end. The sad answer to that is, as long as Star Wars is making its money back, Disney is going to keep making it. They only abandon something when it's not making any more money. And even then, they drag it out of the Disney vault. Let's see if it works this time. Maybe it was brought out the wrong point in time. So, yeah. I agree with that, Darth Croesus. Some things should remain mysterious. Well, if Yaddle was the chosen one, she didn't do her job very well. She was killed off before episode 2. So she didn't destroy the Sith. I need to remember, I keep trying to warm up my hands and I can't rub this one because it's a little bit sore. Thankfully, the Tylenol is doing its job quite well. So unless I move it, it doesn't hurt. And I'm probably babbling enough about my silly little finger. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm trying to think. Okay, dub in cricket sound effect. Been babbling so long. There's a quiet spot. I'm like, now what? Anyway. Sorry. I saw my dog lying on a bed over there and she's snoring. My dog is funny. Oh yeah, I don't know whether I said this or not, but thank you to anybody that gave Manali pleasant birthday wishes on her birthday. She doesn't understand that, but I appreciate that because maybe I get a little bit too much about her, but that dog is my baby and I love her more than anything. Yes, even more than Star Wars. In fact, there was a point where I was so broke and I had a few Star Wars things. I sold off about, a third of my Star Wars collectibles in order to keep her fed. So that's how much I love my dog. Even more than Star Wars. Whew, if it came down to a choice between Star Wars and my dog would win every time. That's right, John Hine. Yes, I keep forgetting to bring up the Star Wars birthdays. Hayden Christensen's birthday was the 19th. I completely forgot. And I also missed not Frank Oz's birthday. His is in May. But a whole bunch of other birthdays. I missed Daisy Ridley's and a couple of others. So I am not doing a good job at keeping up with the Star Wars birthdays. I end up forgetting. I get so caught up in whether building R2 or practicing with lightsabers. I totally forget. It just straight over my head. And I'm like, where'd that idea go? Anyway, I know I'm being a little bit goofy right now, but I'm just trying to fill in space so there's not a whole bunch of crickets. Oh, someone else checking in. A Daniel Davis. Hello. Good to have you. You got any questions? Go ahead and post them below. I enjoy answering questions. This is great. I love interacting with my audience, and it still blows my mind the fact that I can interact with people all over the world all at once. Like, whoa. So. Okay, now I need to find something to do. Excuse me. That's embarrassing. I need to cut that out. Oh, hopefully this video doesn't start skipping. Darth Croesus says, speaking of sabers, finally saving up to order one. Awesome! That is so cool. Okay, question from Daniel Davis. What is your favorite Star Wars character and why? That's kind of a loaded question. I've got different favorite characters in different categories. Favorite droid is definitely R2-D2. I love R2. I've always loved R2. I also love Yoda. He's so funny, especially in The Empire Strikes Back and The Last Jedi. I love that character so much. But my favorite character of all time has been and forever shall be Luke Skywalker. I love Luke so much. I had a crush on him when I was 7, and that continued until I found out how old he really was. So, yeah, I love Luke so much, and I can't get enough of Luke. I hope that answers your question. Okay, another question from Chelsol. Of all the novels, which is your favorite? That depends. If you're talking about the old Legends novels, my favorite is definitely either The Last Command from the Timothy Zahn trilogy. I love that one so much, and that's one I reread on a regular basis. My favorite novel of the new books so far is Heir to the Jedi, although The Legends of Luke Skywalker is growing on me. I'm about halfway through it right now. I try and read one story every evening, and it's really good. I mean, I think the way they depicted Luke in there, even as a legend, has been spot on, and I absolutely love it. Okay, Daniel Davis, again, asking if I'm excited for Solo, a Star Wars story? Mildly. I'm looking forward to it in the fact that opening night, I get to troop with my buddies and go there in costume, and all the people trooping get free popcorn, free movie ticket, and a free drink. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing opening night for a Star Wars movie again. Whee! Okay, bye, Darth Croesus. I hope you have a really nice day. It was great talking to you. Thanks for signing in. Bye. Okay, Jesse Padilla asks, what style level do you fight with a lightsaber? Bare bones. I'm still at level 1. I am still learning the basics here. It's taken quite a bit for me to even memorize Darth Vader's large, clumsy chopping movements from episode 5. So yeah, I'm beginner. I'm still beginner level with lightsabers. I don't get in enough practice to be any better. But as long as I can do it once a week, that's all I can figure. In fact, speaking of lightsabers, I was still planning on practicing today, but I don't know how well that's going to work. Maybe I could do just one-handed lightsaber moves today just to keep my muscle memory up. Okay, Daniel Davis, one last question for me. What's your favorite Star Wars Rebels episode? Oh, that is so hard. There's a lot of Rebels episodes that I love. I've got different favorites from every season. Favorite one from season 1 has got to be the one where Ezra and Kanan visit the Jedi Temple on Lothal. Favorite one from the second season? Oh, that's hard. I don't know. I know one of my favorites from the third season is Kanan instructing Sabine on how to use the Darksaber. That was so cool. Favorite episode from the last season? It had to be the season finale. I mean, it made me bawl like a baby, but it was so well done. I loved it so much. That's got to be my favorite episode, is the last one. Family reunion and farewell. That is a good point. John Cordisco says they could always pull the classic "It was all a dream" and start over. That was actually mentioned years ago, before we ever knew there was a sequel trilogy coming, in a comic. And it said how Timothy Zahn could fix everything. Basically, all the weird stuff that went on between The Last Command and, all that Vong War stuff was Luke waking up from a nightmare, and Mara's next to him, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh, I just had this really weird dream." And he mentioned all the weird, bizarre stuff that happened in the Star Wars novels. And Mara's like, "Don't worry, it was just a dream." Honestly, I'm still half hoping that Timothy Zahn would do that. Just retcon the stuff that happened after his novels. Funny. Oh, that brings up a question from Chelsal, who asks, do you think the Yuzon Vong should be introduced to the new films? No. I hated that storyline. There are these aliens who are terraforming everything, basically trying to put a clean slate on the galaxy and reform it to their own design. That's like the height of selfishness. So like, ugh, yuck. So no, keep the Vong in the legends where they belong. In fact, just get rid of them. Erase them from existence. I hate them. They're awful. Anyway, rant over. Oh, Boren Oakenfist. Okay. Lord of the Rings fan, I presume. Nice to see you. Thanks for signing in. This one asks, hello there. Who is your favorite villain in Star Wars? That's definitely Darth Vader. Darth Vader's my favorite villain because we get to find out the whole story behind him. He's a 3-dimensional villain. He's got motivation. Basically, he's a man who lost everything and is basically given up on life. It's like, screw it. I'm just going to do whatever. Until he finds out that he still has a son. That gives him motivation to question everything that he's been doing all these past 20 years. And and then you see his rise, fall, redemption. So it's definitely Darth Vader. I can't completely hate the guy, even though he freaked me out when I was a kid. Now that I know the whole story and sort of understand him better, I can sort of not quite sympathize with him, but I can understand him. And the redemption in the end was what counted the most, and it was great. Okay, Daniel Davis, thank you for showing up. Good to talk to you. Come again. Okay, Jesse Padilla says, in The Force Awakens, Solo's death was such a shocking emotional reaction as soon as I saw it. Same. What was your reaction when you first saw that scene? Well, okay, to be perfectly honest, parts of the movie were spoiled. I made the mistake of going on a spoiler Star Wars forum, and parts of the plot were dumped there. So I knew it was coming. I knew that Han Solo was going to die, but I didn't know how or when. I didn't expect it to affect me that much. When Kylo ran his father through, I felt like somebody had taken a piece out of my heart. It was like someone, boom, right in the feelings. It took me about a week to get over that. And to be honest, I'm still not totally over that because every single time I watch The Force Awakens, I know it's coming. I cry. I mean, Solo was never my favorite character, but still, the moment that gets me the most is the fact that even as he's being run through, oh gosh, I could work myself up right now. He reaches out and touches his son's face. It's like, I still love you despite all this. I was like, ooh, where's the tissue? So yeah, that was how I reacted. Oh, well, okay. Beto Valadez says, I always have this doubt. In episode 5, there is a mistake. When Obi-Wan's ghost tells Luke that he has to find Yoda on Dagobah, he said he's the Jedi that trained him, but what about Qui-Gon? Well, 2 reasons for this. A, Yoda did start, he was the first teacher all the younglings had. Remember in episode 2 when there was this room full of kids training with lightsabers? Yoda's the very first Jedi instructor all Jedi have. Yoda has known and trained every single current Jedi at that point at the temple. Qui-Gon was his secondary master, and he was the main master, the one who took him around. And at that point, and the other part of that answer was Qui-Gon hadn't even been invented yet. So because episodes 4, 5, and 6 were made before episodes 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Born Oakenfist mentioned about Yoda training Obi-Wan after Qui-Gon died, to converse with the Force. Yeah, because Yoda had follow-up training for Obi-Wan to practice in his solitude on Tatooine. So that's a really good point. Yeah, I totally agree, Jesse Padilla. When it's getting close to that scene, I almost want to hide my eyes. But the only scene to this day I still close my eyes at is Anakin's immolation. That's the hardest one to watch. Although Han Solo's death is second with the hardest scene. You know what? Maybe I need to make a compilation of the hardest scenes to watch. Maybe not a compilation, but a countdown of the top 5 most difficult scenes to watch in Star Wars. The ones that you almost have to cover your eyes. So, Okay, more than 3/4 of the way through. 9 people viewing, 9 likes. Symmetry. That's awesome. All right. Stop yawning, please. Made the mistake of staying up late. No, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't conscious. Couldn't sleep. Okay. Oh, darn. So much for practicing the piano today. I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I've always got this to-do list of a list of things I'm trying to accomplish on a certain day, and practicing the piano is one of them. I haven't done that in a few weeks, but darn it. Well, that's annoying. Oh, guitar. Oh, darn it. Snap. Okay, enough of my complaining. At least I still have a finger. That's what counts. Oh, that's a good question, Chelsea. How long does it take for you to plan and edit your vlogs? Well, sometimes with the longer ones, I try and plan them as far ahead of time as I possibly can. Something that I'm pretty sure I can schedule ahead of time and, something I'm pretty sure I can do, that I have the resources and the time for, and that I have a quiet house. It's been as far ahead as a year ahead of time planning vlogs for movie openings. Most of the time it's about 2 to 3 months ahead of time for most vlogs. For editing, that depends on how long the vlog is. On the program that I'm using right now, which is VSDC Free Video Editor, it takes me on average about 30 to 60 minutes nonstop editing to average the to edit the average length vlog of between 5 and 10 minutes. Longer if I've got a whole lot of footage to go through. If I've got less than 15 minutes of footage, I can knock it out in about 10 minutes, something like that. But if I've got over an hour of footage, that takes a long time. So, okay, next question from Born Oakenfist. That username's awesome, by the way. That's really cool. What is your opinion about Qui-Gon as a character? Honestly, I wish they'd kept him around longer. I know that Obi-Wan had to be the one to train Anakin because of what had come before, but I was sad when they killed him off. To me, he really comes to life with his the way he relates to a young Anakin. He becomes like the father figure that Anakin never had, even more so than Obi-Wan ever was. And it's Qui-Gon's my favorite character from Episode 1. In fact, my favorite character from the prequels. Favorite original character from the prequels, anyway, that wasn't in any other series. I love that character so much. I hate it when he dies. The fact that he has to die at all. And I honestly wouldn't have seen a little bit more on Qui-Gon. I really like Qui-Gon. Okay. Hello to Richard Long from Casa Grande. Says, wanted to know your thoughts on Gray Jedi. I hate that term. If you're going to be a Jedi, you should be following the path of good. Honestly, that's a pet peeve I have about society these days. They always try and pick the gray area rather than just black and white. There's no such thing as a gray area when it comes to things that are right and wrong. There is stuff that is definitely right and stuff that is definitely wrong. Sometimes it can be really hard to distinguish the two, but I know Obi-Wan said only a Sith deals in absolutes, but I honestly don't think that's what he meant, because there is the absolute of right and wrong. And I'm sorry, the the term Gray Jedi is something of a trigger for me. Although I honestly think that is the most anybody can, not like openly embracing aspects of the dark side, but if a Gray Jedi means somebody who has learned to control their emotions rather than suppress them, as the old Jedi Order seemed to encourage, then that would be fine. I just don't like the term Gray Jedi meaning equal parts black and white. It's either you're a good guy or you're not a good guy. It's as simple as that. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting question, Jesse Padilla. This one asks, when you show Star Wars to someone who has never watched it, that's amazing, do you show them starting with episode 1 or episode 4? Like I told my pastor's wife last week, when she asked me the exact same question. She's got a 7, almost 8-year-old, and she was wondering what the best order to show Star Wars is to someone that age. Well, I told them when it comes to kids, when they're like 5 or under, either physically or intellectually, I'll go ahead and say it, then the movie I always start with for little tiny kids is episode 1, because they always end up loving Jar Jar. And if you think about it, apart from the politics scenes, it's mostly aimed at little kids. So I would start with episode 1 for small children, but any older than that, once they're old enough to start understanding the story, then I would show them episodes 4, 5, and 6. That way, you still get the shocking parental revelation in episode 5, I am your father. I mean, people have posted reaction videos to, like, even adults reacting to that for the first time. They're like, ugh. So you still get that priceless reaction when you show them 4, 5, and 6. In fact, I would even say, if you've got a small child, start them off with episode 1 when they're really tiny. So they're already sort of acquainted with what a Jedi is and the universe and all that. And then just to, I don't know, not throw them for a loop intentionally, but just to show them the story of how all this got started, show them in release order, episodes 4, 5, and 6. That way, Luke, I am your father. Like, what? So yeah, that's my recommendation for people that have never seen Star Wars. Born Oakenfist. No, good is not a point of view. There's absolute good and absolute evil. I'm sorry. I will not bend on that. I don't want to get into an argument about that. Okay, Dragonfire. If you directed The Last Jedi, what would you change? Oh, right between the eyes. I know that probably wasn't intentional. Oh, by the way, hello, Dragonfire. That's a really good question. If I directed The Last Jedi, what would I change? To be perfectly honest, if I directed The Last Jedi, it would probably be 100% fan service, with Luke getting out there, training Rey, maybe after a slight reluctance, and kicking butt. That's what I would have changed. I don't think I would have had, and I would have had Rey get defeated in a more dramatic way, rather than just getting tossed around like a ragdoll, like by Snoke. She did get defeated a little bit, but I would have had something more dramatic, like that would have made her realize her error in a very shocking way, like, oh, I thought I could take him on myself, and it didn't work. So yeah, I probably would have made a movie that would have been more of an Empire Strikes Back clone than The Force Awakens was, so people say. A New Hope clone. So yeah, it wouldn't have worked if I had directed The Last Jedi. I would have gone with my first instinct, and that would have been totally fan service. And ultimately, from the point of a filmmaker, that would have been wrong. It probably would have made a lot of people happy, but all right. Oh, okay. If you were just quoting Palpatine, that's fine. I keep forgetting Palpatine's quotes sometimes because I hate the guy. I don't really pay attention to what he's saying because the whole time Palpatine's talking, I just want to take my bow and arrow and go, boing! Shoot him between the eyes or something. Oh, wow. We've only got like 3 minutes left here, guys. And I need to sign off then because I promised my mom at 10 o'clock she could vacuum because she's like, I want to vacuum, but I don't want to make a whole bunch of background noise for your live stream. So yeah, 3 more minutes, guys. If there's any more questions, you're going to need to give them now because I'm going to need to go pretty soon. I'm sorry about if there was a miscommunication about how long this was going on the Facebook page, but I couldn't have predicted this. So, okay, Chelsea, how is my niece doing? Which one? I've got a 3-year-old and a 1-week-old. Both of them are doing pretty good. My 3-year-old niece, because she was born with a cleft lip and palate, and she got that repaired at about 6 months. She's always had sinus problems. This kid gets a runny nose every other week, poor thing. Other than that, she's doing great. She's just a normal, not 3 years old, 4 years old. I keep forgetting how old my own niece is. That's terrible. The younger one, the one that was just born, she is doing much better. She's been breathing on her own. The pressure, ouch, in her nasal cannula, which is the only supplementary oxygen she's getting, it's down to like very, very small amounts of pressure. So she's breathing practically independently. She had her first bottle the other day. Rather than using a feeding tube, she's actually eating from a bottle, and she's able to maintain her body temperature a little bit better now, and she's breathing well, and she should be able to go home in only a couple of days. So she is doing great. Thank you for asking. For anybody that's like offered prayers or good thoughts, I thank you so much. She honestly, she's doing great. I wish I could show you guys a picture of her, but I don't have permission from my sister-in-law. And I've got time to do one more question. I'm going to need to pick it up. Dragonfire. That's the easiest question to answer. Would I have liked it if Han and Luke had reunited? Yes. If I directed The Force Awakens, I would have had Han, Luke, and Leia all together one last time. Because as it is, Return of the Jedi is the last time we see them all together. So now whenever I see the end of Return of the Jedi, I'm always like, I even get emotional sometimes. Like when Mark Hamill got his star on the Walk of Fame and Harrison Ford showed up and he gave him a hug. I was like, that is the only way at all we can ever see Han and Luke together again. And that breaks my heart that we never got a big reunion. So yeah, we're down to seconds here, guys. So thank you everybody for showing up. The next live stream is going to be the 3rd Saturday in May. Either the 3rd or the 4th. I'm still trying to make up my mind. but it'll probably be when my special guest is out. Okay, fine. Gulfstream 69 is coming out here to Utah, and we're going to hang out and see what is that? To see Solo, a Star Wars story on opening night. And also going to hang out and explore, but you'll hear more about that as time goes on. And I've reached the limit. So thank you all for showing up. It's been great. I hope to see you guys at the next live stream. More details on that as the weeks go by. But until next time, this is the Clumsy Jedi signing off, and may the Force be with you always.